Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, make sure you check out the Potown store. They've got all you need. You can even get yourself a nice 5% discount on your orders using that OmniPoke code. For today's video, we're talking Cube. Now, there's a Cube happening tonight, and I'm going to be running down my thoughts over the actual Cube itself, giving you sort of where I feel cards are going to be like potentially broken, cards I'm going to keep an eye out for and such. It is going to be a Mutant draft, so you have to remain very, very flexible with a Mutant draft. So it's going to be an interesting one for sure. It's going to be the first time on the channel, I think, I'm going to be drafting a Mutant. So yeah, first of all though, I do want to talk about the Facebook group, Legend Box. It's all about Pokemon Cubes. So if you're interested in this format, if you've enjoyed any of my previous Cube videos, make sure you do follow this page because there's going to be monthly Cube drafts. So for December's Cube, it's going to be a Singleton Mutant that I'm going to be partaking in, and I think 7 others are. There's a Discord link even on the Facebook page as well. That takes you straight to the Cube League Discord where you can get all the information on everything there. So make sure you check this stuff out if you're interested in joining, because of course we're going to be doing this monthly. It's going to just be basically a first come first serve thing. So if you want to start experiencing Cube for the first time yourselves online, especially because a lot of these times we're going to be using Untap, or we're going to be using TCG1, which means you don't need any cards online to play the Cube. You don't need anything. You can literally just turn up. If you've never played Cube before, just sort of get in on the act, basically. But yeah, just a quick nod to the Facebook group if you want to join there. Also, you get to see lots of other posts about other people's Cubes, either ones that they've completed or ones that they're starting to build themselves. You know, you get all sorts of different things on this. So if you are sort of new to Cube and don't really watch any of the Cube content just yet, you could sort of dip your toe into that sort of zone as well if you want to look at the group and get a better picture of what cubing is. For now though, we're going to be jumping over to December's Cube. I think every month we're planning to, either I'm going to be building new cubes or we're going to be using other people's cubes monthly. So every month it's going to have a very different vibe and feel very fresh. So for this cube, it's a 720 card cube and it is a Mutant draft. That's why we're going to be using the website Untapped to do our battles on, because essentially there's going to be some house rules and stuff going on in this list. And obviously Mutant drafting is a house rule in itself, where you're allowed to evolve on top of stuff that wouldn't normally evolve. For example, like a Bunnelby can evolve into a Beware, for example. Mutant means that typing is the thing that dictates what you evolve into, and only on Untapped. Like obviously you can't do that on PTCGO because they just won't let you. So yeah, we're doing it ourselves on some of these websites. So yeah, so I'm going to do a rundown of what cards I think I need to keep an eye out for, what types I think are naturally going to be very strong. Obviously I think with a Mutant, it naturally balances itself quite well, because there's just like so much versatility and such good, like, there's such variety in cards. And people are competing for all sorts of things. It's not like anyone can just be the water guy, which is certainly can be something that happens in like regular Cube drafts. Someone just picks up the stage 2s early of like the stage 2 water line, and then suddenly they're just the water guy and no one even competes for that stuff. In Mutant, people are competing for all sorts of things. There are good stage 2s that give you draw power. There are good stage 1s that give you draw power. There are just good basics in general, no matter what type they are. So some people, oftentimes, they mix and match types with Mutant. Especially whenever I draft. When I build Mutant drafts, normally I'm building like 4 different types and merging them into one. That's just how it goes a lot of the time. So there's competition from all sorts of directions. You shouldn't expect things to come back a lot of the time with Mutant either. So it really does put an interesting emphasis on Pokemon, I think, in the draft. However, I'm still going to be looking at the item cards first. I want to get a good feel of the power level of the item cards and like the overall direction, if there's any sort of combo items to bear in mind. Things like, like Poker Puff, I can see Devo sprays and stuff like that. It's just straight from the offset, those things sort of catch my eye and make me think if there's putting into play effects, picking up a Devo spray here and there could make them more valuable. So I'm going to have a quick run through items and just sort of evaluate this cube. It's my first time looking at it. So we'll be going through it together. Alpha Lithograph, what does this do? Oh, it's a town map? Okay, cool. But it's like a one-time town map. Okay, that's pretty bad. It's an eye-opener in a trainer. So Pokepuff's in here. That's a pretty spicy one. We've got Crushing Hammer, Clefairy. Is that the new Clefairy? Let's see the... Oh, this is the basic Clefairy, but it's basically the same card. There's even links to the cards here, if I could open the link. To the card itself. So if you're unfamiliar with any of these cards, in that same Facebook group, you can see this exact cube that I'm looking at. I'll also link it in the description below. But you could see all the cards, and you can also just hover over, and it gives you a text description here on the side. I really like Sam's Cube Drafter is the best invention ever, so yeah, I'm really happy to see what's going on here. But yeah, we've got Porter, man. Okay, Recycle System. Energy Removal 2's in here as well, so there's Hammer and Removal 2. And Enhanced Hammer, so there's a good amount of removal things. Definitely something to bear in mind. Full Heal, that's definitely a card I'll avoid. There's Devo Spray, Hyper Devo Spray, and Devo Spray Z. So there's certainly means of bouncing and reusing coming into play effects, which is cool. Lance Chance Potion, there's a second Pokédoll, so there's potential if we can get some trainer recovery, some item recovery pieces, we could definitely try and go down a hit and run route if there are those options in the cube. Knight's Pokemon Center. That's pretty poor. Yeah, that's pretty poor. Paint Roller, that's pretty decent. So we got Circulator, that's pretty bad. Circulator's basically Repel, right? Pokemon Center. Wow, Pokemon Center's in here. This is a very good card. This is a scary card for sure. Removal damage counters from all of your own Pokemon with damage on them, and then discard all energy cards attached to those Pokemon. So it's like a max potion for your entire board. That's pretty wacky. If we can build some sort of low energy deck, this just like ties it in all together. And a lot of the time, realistically in cubes, you're either committing energy to one big attacker, or one thing's getting hit all the time. So if you can just like retreat out of stuff anyway, then you get that heal effect, and it's not too big of a downside that you're removing energy off of like excess Pokemon here and there. That's interesting. Okay, so there is a decent amount of Gust. I'm seeing Reversal in here. Power Spray is in here. That sounds really wacky, but it does mean that we're looking at some SP Pokemon as well. Obviously in Mutant, SP Pokemon are naturally going to be very good for you, just because they're high hit point basics, and if they have upsides like Power Spray, that could be insane. Red cards in here, can't wait to lose to that. Robo-Sub's in here as well, so we've already seen Lily's Pokédoll, regular Clefairy, and Robo-Sub, so definitely a sub-theme going on here that I have to bear in mind. So I have to expect potentially a hit-and-run style archetype being played either by myself or by someone else. Target Whistle as well as Pokepuff, that's interesting. Victory Cup versus Seekers in here. Alright, let's look at how powerful these tools are. We've got Cessation Crystal, interesting. Okay, so the tools are looking really strong already. I see Bursting Balloon, I see Counter Gain, I see U-Turn Board. I know the trainers are looking very strong. Expert Belt's in here as well. So just from eyeballing it, I know that the power level of the cube is pretty high power level. There are still like some absolute duds in here. Like, it's super weird when there are cards like this bad, and then there are, like, Trick Coin is pretty horrible, I think, unless you're building something very, very specific. But then there are things like Expert Belt and EXP Share, which seem super busted in comparison. Let's look at some of the supporters. This is definitely going to be interesting. So I didn't see that many, I didn't see, like, guaranteed catcher effects. It looks like the coin flip trainer catchers. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Is Gust of Wind in here as well? I'll check Gust of Wind in a sec as well. They've got base set stuff. Okay, so this is pre-errata catcher, right? And we're doing house rules, and I think the house rules are just read the card. So I think that is just trainer catcher. Is Gust of Wind in here? Great Catcher? Why is Great Catcher in here? Is there that many EXs? That feels like a really weird include. That feels like a low power level Gust. Definitely punishing someone who's playing Shaman EX or something like that, though. From what, by the way, it looks like it's a singleton cube. What are we looking at? Oh, so we got Sinlin, which means we got Oh yeah, we've already seen with Lily's Pokédoll, but this is base set all the way up to the most recent sets, by the looks of things. So it's an up-to-date cube. Delinquent, that's a scary card. Roxy as well. Roxy's super good in cube, I think. It's got Hex. I don't know how good Hex is. It depends on the rules. I think Hex covers abilities as well as Poké Powers and bodies. I think they're like engulfing the whole thing. So that could be a bit of a pain. Certainly some interesting cards. We see Trump card as well as regular Lysander in here. Okay, there's a lot of Team Flare stuff. So we've seen there's a good amount of hammers, and there's also a good amount of supporter help for a disruption style archetype. So I'll definitely bear that in mind when I start looking through the Pokemon. Yeah, like Xerosic in here as well. Oh, BTS is in here. Okay, that changes everything just straight away. Chaos Gym's a bit of a pain in the neck as well. Lost World's in here? No way! Okay. Okay. We need to really be careful of Lost World. Oh my god. Wow, that's wild. That's wild that Lost World's in here. That's actually crazy. It's one of those cards that seems like it would be like passed up by a bunch of people, and then there's that one guy who's like, I just won every game. That's a really scary win condition for someone. Okay, we need to be aware of that. Wondrous Labyrinth is in here. Okay, A-Specs are in here. Rock Guard's in here? Whoa, Rock Guard is insane. Rock Guard is, like, as good as Comp Search and Dowsing Machine and stuff are, I think Rock Guard is low-key, like, easily the best A-Spec. If you can get some Recycle for this Rock Guard, it's the most insane card. The value you get from that card is nuts. Super nuts. I don't know, maybe his hit points are too high for it to be that good, but it looks like, I always think Rock Guard is super, super strong. Like, even stronger than Scoop Up Cyclone and stuff. That amount of damage, just so good for you. Free damage is good. It's like a Bursting Balloon that just stays around forever. That's super insane. So we've got Double Rainbow. This is also a super insane card. Especially when you're in Mutant, right? When you're going to be playing a bunch of different types, Double Rainbow is insane. You basically have... It's like a DCE, but it's every color, and you just get a -10 of damage, which is a super good deal. It's a really, really good deal. Okay, so there's multiple Rainbow Energy. Retro Energy's in here. Upper Energy. So there's a couple of Triple Acceleration. Super Boost. Oh! Okay, you know I'm going for it. You already know I'm a dreamer. You already know I'm a dreamer. I told you I'm going to draft a billion types. Okay, so it looks like there's some high power level stuff in here. Knowing there's A-Specs, knowing there's a bunch of good supporter cards, knowing that there is support for control, as well as hit and run. So that's stuff that we have to bear in mind. Now we'll start looking at the Pokemon. Start off with an Arceus Prism Star. I mean, what a start, right? That's a 160 hit point basic that we're looking at right now. A 160 hit point basic in Cube is silly. Wow. I mean, he only does 30, but who cares? 160 is huge. You can accelerate as well. You can only use this if you have a Grass, Water, and Lightning Pokemon on your bench. So I can see why he's in here, right? Because he's very specific, but just a 160 build around is pretty cool. I'm not going to go through all of these. Just going to look at some like good highlight basics, like obviously Ditto Prism Star, an insane pick. I've got Crystal Ho-Oh in here. Holland Cast Form. So the Kecleons are all cool. They can all be tons of different types. So these are like brilliant basics just to pick up in Mutant because they give the option to evolve into all sorts of different things. So if you just pick these, you know that they're good basics. Like this is every type of energy attached to Kecleon. So if you're playing like two different energy types, this is a colorless Pokemon as well as like energies on top of him. So that's pretty cool. It's like EVs. EVs are super insane if there are any of those in there. Doesn't look like there's any colorless EVs as the basics. Let's see how many basics we're looking at. How many basics we got for Colorless? So 26 it looks like. Okay, that's good to know. So that's a big scope for basics. If I'm trying to build attacking, like if I'm trying to attack with some of these types, I know I'll get a good chunk of this stuff. But you can see in Mutant, the Pokemon lines are way thicker because there's so much competition for stuff. Like people will just pick up Smeagol's, people will just pick up Kecleons, like no matter what. People just want Cleffa, you know? There's stuff like that. There's some big stuff in here though. There's Shining Arceus as well. That's a huge 130 hit pointer. Shining Lugia. Like some of these are just going to be attackers in their own rights. And then we go on to some of these Bewares. That's a free retreat Beware. That draws cards. That removes status. Nurse Call, pretty decent. Celebi Prime, Blissey Prime, really good card. What Clefable is this? Oh, this is the Clefable that lets you get Pokemon out. Coin flip for a Pokemon every turn on a stage 1's pretty good. Flip a coin if head, search your deck for a card that evolves and put it onto that Pokemon. It's even better than just... Actually, it's not as good as putting it into hand. Because it does count as evolving. But yeah, that's a pretty good stage 1 just in general for getting stuff set up. Dark Porygon, Delcatty's obviously busted. Two supporters from discard back into... Wait, back into hand? Oh, yeah. Energy Draw Delcatty, that's definitely a big draw card. We've got the helping you retreat Dodrios. So if I want some good help to retreat, definitely picking up some colorless stuff is nice. Noctowl draws cards. Persian would make them pay. Pidgeotto Airmail. Backup. Porygon Backup. This is definitely one of the best support stage 1s I could get. It lets you draw up to 6 cards. So obviously a busted support stage 1. So there's definitely some reason for me to pick up some decent colorless basics because there's such big payoff in a lot of these. Trumbeak, that sounds terrible. So let's look at some of these stage 2s. Is it worth me just evolving out of these busted stage 1s, or is it just going to be me picking up a busted colorless basic like a Smeagol and then just finding like a Pidgeotto to go on top of? 30 to each of your opponent's bench that has any damage counters on it. That's a scary card. That's a super scary card. Honestly, spread is pretty good. 150 hit points. I mean, just seeing this first stage 2 tells me that the power level's pretty high. 30 to all of your opponent's guys that have damage on them. It should not be too hard for us to put damage on stuff. There was already things like Frozen City and a bunch of other annoying stadium cards that can do that without even having other Pokemon to help you get there. Okay, so there's a few X-Clouds going on in here. See this exactly, like there's a Boom Burst X-Cloud, so you can see spread is a bit of a theme. If this will ever load. The other X-Cloud in here doing 20 to each of the guys. I mean, it's a stage 2 version of Tapu Koko, right? Don't get too excited, but when it sets up this man, it's pretty dangerous. For some reason that's not loading, but yeah. We got Quick Search, obviously one of the best stage 2s in the game. Porygon Z for the Devolve. Slacking, locking out stuff. Staraptor doesn't seem that good. Stoutland, stopping supporter cards, gross. Talonflame, Togekiss with Serene Grace. Wow. Okay, so now we're on to the dark stuff by the looks of things. So, really, it looks like if you're going for spread, maybe this X-Cloud is a bit of a big payoff. But a lot of these stage 2s look like supporting stage 2s a lot of the time. Maybe slacking Stoutland if you're going for a big sort of slow down the opponent style option. Alright, let's look at some of these other things. Like, even Absol Prime, like, this could be a busted basic just for, like, an X-Cloud deck. If my internet ever wants to work. I don't know what's happening to my internet, but it seems to be dying. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Eye of Disaster. Just puts camps on things when they bench stuff. Pretty insane. We've got some Darkrai's. Obviously, they're all high hit point basics, which is just naturally good. Oh, that's cool. Setting stuff to sleep. Murkrow has that Has a Dusk Stone, so you can evolve it straight away. Sableyes are obviously good. We have got Junk Hunt in here, so that's definitely important if we are going to build a Junk Hunt control thing. We've got Stormfront Sableye. We've got some good Spiritomb. Spiritomb also has some insane basics, that's for sure. Oh wow, we got Oblivion Wing. There's some insane basics in here. Truly insane basics. Got a Lowland Muck. Got Crawdon, getting rid of energies. Dark Electrode. That's cool. Haunch Crow doing some bits. Hounding Prime, some extra damage. Malamars are always pretty cheeky. Greedy Evolution with Sharpedo. That can be an insane ability. This ability is super insane. Like, it's terrible when Sharpedo has terrible attacks, but when you evolve this into a stage 2 that has good attacks, this is absolutely insane. That Sharpedo looks very dangerous if there are good stage 2s. Rule of Evil's in here? Oh my goodness. He's gone pretty crazy with spread. Vilify's in here. Oh wow. Okay, we have Mind Jack. I mean, just like, why wouldn't you put a Zoroark in your deck? This is insane. That is super good for Cube. The power level of this Cube is nuts. You just pick that as soon as you see it. Even Foul Play is very good. Okay, let's start seeing some of these stage 2s. Oh wow, we got Hydreigons. We got Weed Out Hydreigon going on. We've got some Shift Trees going on. Oh no, they've got Darkness Fan going on in here. I do not want to deal with this. This seems like a really ugly card to deal with. If this is your active, choose an evolution on your opponent's bench and remove the highest stage from that Pokemon and put it back into their hand. That's just whenever he's active, man. Whenever he's active. Giant Fan. Okay, so there's a lot of coin flip gimmick stuff going on here. Oh wow, there's Tyrannitars as well. Tyrannitars are huge. Tyrannitars are just big. Do we have the... Oh yeah, this is the busted one. This is just such a good late game sweep card. You can just win the game. Like, you can be bricking the entire game, and then you just get this when you have like 2 prizes left, or when your opponent has 2 prizes left, and then you just Raging Roar and just spam Darkness Mountain. That card is super good. 160 hit points is huge as well. Absolutely huge. Okay, so the Tyrannitars look like the best top-end pieces of the dark stuff. Okay. We'll go on to fighting. I mean, he's got Baby Buzz. Hello? Baby Buzz should not be fair. That card cannot be fair for Cube. That is just not a fair card at all. We've got Diancie Prism as well. Oh my god. It's Diancie Prism. Hawlucha's in here. Hit and Run Hitmonchan. Okay, so if you get Diancie Hitmonchan, we got a little combo going. We've got some Hitmon tops as well. Landorus seems really good. Mankey is always fun. Meloetta. That can also do some acceleration. That's cool. Sork. Stack Attacker. That's a big boy. Man, look how big this basic is. I feel like I can just build big basics pretty comfortably. I mean, I can get some busted stage 1 draw support and just play big basics. Like, this stacker is monstrous, bro. Got some pseudo-budo action going on. Got some roadblock. That seems good. See, this Trapinch ability is really good as well. For some extra free acceleration. Wow, Archeops is actually super good. Does this count as a stage 1 or a stage 2? It counts as a stage 2. Okay. That's a pretty good card though. Pretty efficient. Okay. Okay. If I get this, I'm gonna literally just Pepe D everywhere. Cosmic Power, boys. The best ability in the game. Of all time, probably. Name a better ability. I'll wait. We got some Donphans. Okay, so Spinning Turns in here. So my suspicion was right. I mean, if you get Diancie Donphan, you're just going to build dolls, right? You're just going to be spinning around. Okay, we've got some Gliscors. They're good for status, and they're pretty efficient. Lucarios are also very cool. Yeah, this is a great late game Lucario there. Stance is also very good. Stance can buy you a turn, which in Cube is actually huge. Like, doing 120 and having a free turn to hit them for 120 again is pretty crazy. Metacham, Toxicroak. What does this do? Oh, the poison guy. Conkeldurr. Oh, wow. Premonition Glade. Man, there's some such cool stuff. He's really he's making it worth evolving into stuff, which is cool. Like, as many good basics as there are, there's also stuff like this, and you just don't want to ever pass up Premonition, right? Man, I'm going to be building super greedy, I can already tell. Infinite's pretty cool. Fighting Fury Machamp for increasing damage. Fighting Tags in here. Take out Machamp. Oh, wow, we got Meganium as well. You can search your deck for up to 3 in any combination of basic Pokemon or evolutions and put them straight into your hand. That's such a big deal, man. Such a big deal. Oops. You just get so much value out of evolving this. Like, you just evolve your stage 1 into this, and then you just get, like, 3 more evolutions off just straight away. That's pretty insane. Rampardos is pretty crazy as well. 120 for 1. Got some Toppling Wind Rhyperias going on. That's funny. Alright, let's look at the fire stuff. I know this is kind of kind of random and stuff, but I hope it's like I'll give a sort of rundown at the end. So we've got I mean we've got unlimited damage cap, boys. What more do you need? Let's just build a bunch of rescue stretchers and Fireball Circus people all the time. That's pretty funny. We've got a response KO guy. We've got some Moltres. They can be good for getting some energies into play, for sure. Just Reshiram. Like, there's 130 hit point basics that we're looking at here, guys. There's Victini in here as well, so you can play Blound Victini. Victini EX for some acceleration. Victory Star Victini for any flip stuff. V-Crate Victini's even very good. I mean, they've got Power Heat, so there's some insane basics here. Flare Starter as well. Each energy attached to your opponent's active. Attach a fire. Okay. Oh, it's got the reprint of Arcanine. That's a decent card as a stage 1 for sure. Charmeleon can be acceleration. Smooth Over, obviously very good. I love sharing my Lotic because it's one of my favorite cube cards ever. Like, it's pretty balanced, but it's also like there are games where it can be super imbalanced if your opponent's just drafted good supporters. It's essentially Smeargle that you can use from the bench every turn, and it's a you may effect, rather than you have to use their supporter card, so that can give you insane value. Alright, so there's Bright Look Ninetales, there's also Nine Temptations, so I'm already just looking at fire. We've got Roast Reveal, we've got Nine Temptations, we've got Bright Look. My eyes are immediately on fire. Immediately on fire. And there's even Flare Command. Like, why would I not play fire? There's 2 Roast Reveals. There's 2 Roast Reveals, and there's also Delcatty. I'm 100% drafting fire. 100%. I already know. There's no way I'm not drafting fire. They have the best stage 1s, by far. You got Acceleration and Blaziken. Double Acceleration? We got the old and the new? Yeah, we got the old and the new. That's insane. Chandler as well. Some of my favorite stuff to play with. I mean, we got Roaring Resolve Charizard, man. There's even more draw cards in here. There's even more draw power. Fire's insane. Fire's absolutely insane. I mean, I've seen some cool stuff for fighting and for dark, and Colorless is always good support stuff, but we've got Afterburner, and we've got double Blaziken on the fire side, and we've got all the draw in the world, and the best Gust. Fire looks super over-the-top insane. Super over-the-top insane. Okay. So the Caterpies have some cool early evolution plays. Katana, Pinsir. Ooh, Shaman Prism's actually a pretty cool card. Okay. Got Grass Shaman EX. Bunch of Shamans. Flipty Flap. Celebration Wind, that's a really cool card. Tropius. The thing is, it's hard for me to be like... Ooh, Abomasnow is actually cool for a little quick acceleration, and then you just evolve out of him. See, that's why cards like this are super cool. Ariados. Okay, Trim. Grovyle. Oh, wow. Okay, so Grass at least has this. This is a big piece for grass. If you can get Grovyle, your whole deck starts running pretty good. Lurantis as well. Lurantis also buffs fire Pokemon, so that's something to bear in mind if I am trying to build fire. I could think about trying to get a good early basic. That then just evolves into a Lurantis. Metapod also evolves quickly. So they're all trying to evolve quickly, right? That's the whole thing. A couple of Yanmegas. Yanmegas are always very good just for... Oh wow, Swift Sting's in here? Okay. Cradily. Oh, okay, that has the same ability. Duck Crobat. Poisoning stuff is fine. This is actually a super good card in draft. Taking 2 prizes on something sounds really good. And a 50 snipe is also pretty good. It obviously has the Delta Plus ability, so this guy's actually a low-key kind of threat. You can set up damage quite nicely to get yourself in range of a 20 or a 50. It shouldn't be too difficult. Oh my god. Okay, there's a reason to go grass. There's a reason to go grass. If you just get Caterpies and Metapods and just get Meganium up, oh man, I'm building something like this for sure. For sure. Forget what I should be doing. I'm doing that now. Okay, so there's some good grass acceleration as well from these Sceptiles. A lot of good grass acceleration, to be fair. Leaf Draw. Oh my god, this Shiftry is insane. This Shiftry is actually one of the most crazy cards I've seen so far. This card's damage output is unreal. 20 times the amount of energy of... 20 times the amount of benched Pokemon. It can do 200, and in Cube, like... very easily does, like, 160 minimum. Very easily does 160 minimum, whilst also doing a discard draw 3 effect. That card is insane. Shiftry is super good. Oh wow, we've got Fluorescent Venusaur and Jungle Totem Venusaur. Okay, Grass is actually pretty good as well. There's some plume action going on as well. Okay, so Grass has some good acceleration. I feel like you need to have Meganium to make it work though, because the middle stages, like the basics aren't that good for Grass, and the middle stages aren't that insane. It's just the big stuff. Like the Yanmegas are actually pretty good, but you want to just turbo out to the big stuff for Grass. That's what you want to do. If you can get the Grovyle as well. If you get Grovyle and Meganium, Grass is looking pretty solid as like a base. But okay, we've got some lightning stuff going on. Pachirisu is a great for early game options. Pikachu EX is in here. Wow. Got some Raikus. I mean, that's just a big basic, that Raikou. That's for sure. That's also a pretty early game annoying card to deal with. Coco Prism's in here. There's some crazy stuff going on in this draft, man. We got Flying Flip. Flying Flip is disgusting. Flying Flip is disgusting. I mean, I know you don't have DC in the format, but Flying Flip is disgusting. Super disgusting. Sacrums are in here. Okay, we got Dynamotor. I already know that I'll be picking up some lightning stuff here and there just because there's some cool stuff going on already. There's some cool stuff for sure. Evo Shock Raichu. Sprint is always good. The Amphiroses, maybe if I'm trying some wacky spread thing, but usually they're not all that worthwhile. They're pretty difficult. That's a good Dragonite for acceleration. This Electros is a big payoff. If you get the Dynamotor, just getting a free, like, this is a fake basic basically. This is a 150 hit point basic. Pretty insane. Alright, so we got Dual Brains Magnezone, we got Magnezone Prime. Okay, there's some good lightning stuff. There was always going to be good lightning stuff. Vikavolt's in here as well, good to know. Okay, got some metal stuff going on. Obviously Jirachi's a good. Durant, if we're going... Well, Durant is just a thing that's here. There's 3 Durants by the looks of things. So, Duval won't get too out of control, but definitely something to be aware of. Jirachi's obviously very good basics. Lowland Dog Trios. Hello. We got Gold Rush Dog Trio to build around. Pain Amplifier Bronzong, that's a scary card as well. He's got so much spread in here that Pain Amplifier is actually scary. Miracle Oracle's great draw power. Metal Lynx is obviously good. That's another Lay Parfum. Fortress. Okay, what are the best? Sizzle Prime. Aegis Lashes. Okay, they got Aegis Lashes going on here. Aegis Lash is normally a little too clunky to work, from my experience. Kling Klang is really good though. Kling Klang is obviously very good. More Magnezones going on as well. Magnetic Circuit, okay. Okay. I mean, we have Rain Dance. What else matters? Rain Dance is officially in the cube. Yikes. Okay, Rain Dance is a thing. Okay. That's actually pretty scary. There's been some good big basics. So if I find Rain Dance, I could just go big basics quite happily. Oh my god, this is huge as well. This card is huge. This is the same attack as the Shiftry that I was so hyped about. But it's 1 energy less. There's some cool Metagross stuff going on as well. This is actually a pretty scary card for spread. You do 70 to each of your opponent's Pokemon with the same name. If you just high roll that early, that's actually pretty insane. Psychic stuff, always interesting, like Muse and stuff. Marshadow is obviously very good. Mr. Mime seems like a card I want to try and pick up. Oh, that's the wrong Mime. Is that a Mew that protects me from bench snipes? Bench snipe seems really ugly. I don't want to deal with bench sniping. Uxie's in here. For stage 1, it's got some Garbs. Okay, so one thing that is scary is that Garb seems very accessible and pretty good. I want to build around abilities a lot, so that's going to be scary. Especially when Gust isn't good. That makes a lot of the fun stuff pretty bad. Got Malamar, Mashana's good for draw power. Oh, Naga's in here? Oh my god. This card is nuts. For Cube. That card is nuts. Man, this is going to be wild. What? What are you doing here? What are you doing here in the game? No way. You know, I said I was going fire. I'm going fire or psychic. What? What? What the? Whoa. Yeah, this is super good as well. This is a big payoff for Psychic. It's like the, it's like Jungle Totem, but for Psychic stuff. Oh, Telepass. Still one of the best abilities ever. If you thought that Claydol wasn't the best ability, you probably were thinking that this was the best ability ever printed. And in Cube, that's super true. Creepshow Gengar? Okay, there's some... Okay, so we got Gengar Primes in here as well, bro. Look at your opponent's hand, choose any number of Pokemon you find that up to the number of Psychic Energy attached to Gengar. So, you know the Lost Zone deck we were talking about? There's Gengar for you. Okay, we got to be a little bit scared of that. For water stuff, some big Laprases, there's some decent like Vulpix and stuff. Oh, Gothitel's in here as well. Crazy. Man, I'm gonna be all over the place in terms of what I want to draft. There's too much good stuff. My Lotix and Octilleries, these are all very good. Sandslash, Slush Rush, and Hit and Run. Okay, that's obviously very good. Okay, we've got Stoicism. Okay, so Deluge is just in here. We got more Rain Dance, boys. We got more Rain Dance. Whoa, this card. Whoa, there. Oh, sorry. This card is in. Imagine, oh my god, there's some nuts basics we can steal attacks from here. Some nuts basics in stage 1s. Let's look at some of the stage 1s and stuff I can copy from for way cheaper. What are the best, like, stage 1 attacks I could be using? Are there actually good stage 1 attacks I can be using? Oh, maybe not. Maybe these are all bad. Maybe some, like, Suicune attacks or something. I could be copying Shiny Volk for 1 energy. Quad Smashing for 1 energy sounds good. It's actually a bit of a bait, actually. Okay, I thought that was way better. Its second attack is still good, though. 130 for 2. I thought it was going to be insane. Okay, Diving Draw's in here. Diving Draw's in here. This is one hell of a card. That boy. Fraligator Prime. Greninja. Shadow Stitching is pretty insane. Water Shuriken. Water Shuriken's won me one of my previous cubes. Off his own back. Okay, so Water's also pretty good. Kingdra's in here. Swampert with Power Draw. Growth Swampert as well? Okay, Fire and Water. Fire, Water, Psychic. Ignore the rest. Fire, Water, Psychic. Those are the payoffs for sure. Diving Search and Diving Draw or Power Draw. Those are nuts, bro. Okay, well, we've got plenty of good stuff. Basically, this is a video of me going, wow, I can't believe that's in here. So this draft is going to be wild. I don't know what direction I want to go. There's too many goodies. So I'll see what comes to me. I'll see how greedy I get. Mutants are they're easily the most challenging drafts. And I think the draft experience is always fun. It's one of the best parts of cubing in general. But a Mutant draft experience is super fun. Keeping flexible is always hard. Passing up cards really becomes difficult. It'll be a long old draft, and things can get pretty kooky. I'm really excited for it. We've got some insane basics to use. We've got some great support stage 1s that I'm going to try and pick up, and then some big power swing stage 2s that I'm going to be trying to build around as well. So yeah, awesome stuff, guys. Hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you in another video soon. The sort of cube stuff, it's going on throughout the month, but I'll try and get a bunch done in the early weeks of the month just to get them out of the way. But I'll be weaving them in between, regular, standard uploads and stuff. So yeah, let me know if you guys are enjoying the cube content. Let me know what you thought about this cube. Was there any cards that I missed out that are secretly busted that I need to keep an eye out for? And yeah, wish me luck. Cheers.